Hello again. Today we are going to practice adding the suffix ly to different root words, and we're going to play a kissing hippo game. So let's have a look at some words to start with. So we're going to change some adjectives. So this is an adjective that describes something, and this says bad. I'm going to change that adjective into an adverb that explains how we do something. So I'm going to change bad to badly. So watch what happens. So we had bad, and I've added l-e, badly. So most words, when you add ly, you literally just add the ly on the end. If your root word ends with a letter y, then we do something different. So this root word says happy. Happy is an adjective that describes what something's like. If I change that adjective into an adverb, happily, that describes how we do something. Watch what happens when I change happy into happily. Oops. So what I've done is I've changed the y to I, and then I've added l-e. So we've got happily. So we have two spelling rules to remember when we're adding the suffix ly. Most words we just add ly. If your root word ends with the letter y, you change that y to I, and then you add ly. So we're going to play our game now. So I've got a pile of root words that go with the grey hippo, and I have a pile of rules which go with the pink hippo. If the root word matches the spelling rule, then you're going to make a big kissing noise and the two hippos are going to kiss. If the root word and the spelling rule do not match, you are going to turn your head to one side, and that's what the hippos are going to do, so no kissing. So there's the two hippos. Let's turn over our first root word. So let's sound this one out. Grumpy, grumpy. And I want to change grumpy to grumpily. That's how you might do something, grumpily. So let's see what the spelling rule says. This spelling rule says, let's move it over a little bit, change the y to I and add ly. So if you think that is what we need to do to this root word, then you can make a kissing noise for me. If you think it's not the right rule for that word, then you're going to turn your head away. So let's have a look. Grumpy has a y on the end, so we do need to change the y to I. So that's what I'm going to do. Change the y to I and add ly. So then we have grump, il-e, grumpily, grumpily. So we can make a big kissing noise because those two go together. Let's pull them apart and we'll do the next one. So I'm going to put that rule to the bottom. Let's turn over the next root word. Let's sound this one out. Glad, glad. If I want to change that to gladly, let's see if this is the spelling rule we need. This says just add ly. If you think that's the right rule, then you can make a kissing noise. If you think it's not the right rule, then you can turn your head away. Okay, so this root word does not have a y on the end, so we haven't got to change that. We just add ly. So glad becomes gladly. So I hope you made a big kissing noise. Those two rules go together. So let's take the root word away and we'll swap the rule over. Let's see what the next root word says. Let's sound this one out. Quick. So if I want to change that to quickly, let's see if this is the right rule. change the Y to I and add ly. So if you think that's the right spelling rule, make me a kissing noise. And if you think that is not the right rule, turn your head away. Okay, so here we've got quick. There's no Y on the end, so I can't change the Y to I because I don't have a Y. So I'm just going to add ly. That was not the right rule, so I hope you turned your head away. Definitely no kissing that time. So let's put that one away and we'll swap the rules over. Let's read the next root word. This one says cheap, cheap. So if I want to change that to cheaply, so if you do something cheaply, you won't spend too much money. Let's see if we've got the right rule here. The rule says just add ly. So if you think that's the right rule for this word, then you can make a kissing noise. If you think that's not the right rule, then you turn your head away. Okay, there's no Y on the end of that, so I haven't got to change anything. I just add ly. So cheap becomes cheaply. So hopefully you made a kissing noise because those two go together. Let's do the next one. We'll change the rule. So this is our root word. Let's sound it out. First, thirsty. Thirsty, and I want to change that to thirstily. If you do something thirstily, you might be quite thirsty. So let's see if that's the right rule. This says change the Y to I and add ly. If you think that is the right rule, then you can do a kissing noise. If you think it's not the right rule, turn your head away. So we have a Y on the end, so we do need to change the Y to I. So change the Y to I and add ly. Add ly. So we've got thirst, thirstily. So hopefully you did a kissing noise. Those two go together. And I think, two left. Let's swap the rules over. Right, the next root word says greedy, greedy. So if I want to change that adjective into an adverb, greedily, so if you ate your food greedily, you'd probably be eating it very, very quickly. Let's see if this is the right spelling rule. Just add ly. So if you think that is the right rule, you can make a kissing noise. If you think it's not the right rule, turn your head away. So I've got a Y here, so I can't just add ly because I need to change that Y to I first and then add ly. So hopefully you turned your head away for that one because those two cards don't go together. Right. Oh, we've still got two left actually. One more than I thought. Let's swap that. Let's look at the next root word. Let's sound this one out. Angry, angry. So angry is an adjective. If I change it into an adverb, angrily, if you did something angrily, you'd be doing it quite crossly. Let's see if that is the right spelling rule. It says change the Y to I and add ly. If you think that's the right spelling rule, then you can make a kissing noise. If not, turn your head away. Okay, so we have a Y here, so we need to change the Y to I, and add ly. So those two match. So we needed a kissing noise. Those two go together. Right, last one. Let's swap the rules over. And we'll turn this over. Let's sound this word out. Clever. That's an adjective. If we change that into cleverly, you were doing something very cleverly. That's the way you're actually doing it, being quite clever about what you are doing. Do you just add ly? If you think that's the right rule, then you make a kissing noise. If it's not the right rule, turn your head away. Okay, So we do not have a Y on the end of this one. So there's nothing to change. We just add ly. So now we have cleverly, cleverly. So we needed a kissing noise for that one because those two match. Okay, well done. So you have just learnt 2 spelling rules for when you add the suffix ly. Try and remember that next time you're spelling one of those words. Enjoy!